So this is about Chao Chu. One day Chao Chu fell down in the snow and called out, "Help me up, help me up." So there is this Chao Chu fallen in the snow and he's calling, "Help me, help me." So a monk came and lay down beside him. Now instead of extending help, Chao Chu sees this, gets a jolt, simply gets up and walks away. What has this other monk in a second experientially taught Chao Chu? Another shocker. It was Rinzai himself. So there was this student he had, and whenever Rinzai would ask a deep, important question that he wanted the students to reflect over, now instead of giving the question sufficient time and respect and reflection, this one student would just raise his finger as if he already knows the answer. So the master, seeing this happen repeatedly, goes to this disciple and simply cuts off his finger. And the Koans says that it was at this moment that the disciple got immediately enlightened. If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. That shocks us so much, and these are all followers of the Buddha. And they are saying, if you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. Why are they saying that? The Zen masters could have put it in a more sober way, but they want to shake your mind, your consciousness up. They are saying the real one can never be known. In other words, truth is unknowable. So it is already a disciple, an advanced disciple, who is asking a question and the master replies, and then often the koan ends with, and the disciple was immediately enlightened. So it is already an advanced disciple who gets immediately enlightened. Let me pick up the simpler ones first and then proceed to the more high voltage ones. Eighth one. So this is about Chao Chu. One day Chao Chu fell down in the snow and called out, "Help me up, help me up." So there is this Chao Chu, most probably himself a monk. So Chao Chu has fallen in the snow and he's calling, "Help me, help me." So a monk came and lay down beside him. So he finds someone coming to him, must be expecting that this fellow will now lend a hand and pull him up. But instead of pulling him up, what does this monk do? Came and lay down beside him. Now Chao Chu got up and went away. This Chao Chu was shouting, "Come, help me, I have fallen into the snow, can't get up, somebody lend a hand." Now instead of extending help, this monk comes and just lies down behind him, Chao Chu. Now Chao Chu sees this, gets a jolt, simply gets up and walks away. What has this other monk in a second experientially taught Chao Chu? Bondage is a choice. You're not helpless. You're pretending to be. Just as you chose to fall into the snow, you can equally choose to get up and walk away. It is within your power. But you are pretending to be helpless, and that is a very old way of the ego. Pretend to be helpless when you are actually not. Pretend to be helpless when you are actually not. Getting it? Now obviously this cannot work with someone who is in no position to receive the instruction. Or who is actually fallen so deep into the snow that he can't get out on his own. In the zone of facts and physicality, that is possible. You could be a very weak person physically, right? Or you could have slipped deep into the snow. That too is possible. And it is not always possible that you get up and walk away on your own. So here it is seen that probably the disciple Chao Chu is young and strong. He does have the capacity to get up and walk away, but is still acting feeble and helpless. So a fellow monk or a teacher, a master, saw this as an opportune time to deliver an instruction, a message, and said, let me use this situation to drive home a very important point. And how was that done? A monk, a friend, walked up to Chao Chu and just lay down beside him. And Chao Chu got the message, simply got up and walked away. Walked away, and what's left unsaid here is, in the typical Koans style, walked away enlightened. Now, another shocker, 9th one. If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. Now that shocks us so much, and these are all followers of the Buddha. These are all Zen Buddhists. And they are saying, if you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. Why are they saying that? Because you cannot meet someone you do not already know of. You just don't know De Mello. Can you meet De Mello? Even if De Mello crosses your path, would you say, I met De Mello? Would you? So meeting the Buddha would imply that you already know the Buddha. You already know Sharma Ji. So suddenly when you happen to see him on the road, you say, Sharma Ji, I met Sharma Ji. But if you do not know De Mello can coolly walk past you, and you will not be able to claim that you have met or seen or encountered De Mello, right? Right? How can you meet the Buddha? If you say you have met the Buddha, that means that you already have an image of Buddha, just as you have an image of Sharma Ji. Right? You already know Sharma Ji. But how do you already know the Buddha? By having a cultivated image of your own. And in that image lie all your conveniences, all your mischief, and all your bondage. Right? So first of all, you build up an image of the Buddha, and then if you find someone corresponding to that image, you declare that person to be Buddha. The funny thing is, often the other person also knows what particular image you have maintained of the Buddha in your mind. He already knows that in your mind the Buddha is like this, this and this. So that makes it very easy for the other person to look, act, behave like the Buddha. And when you will encounter that person, you will immediately say, today I met the Buddha. The Zen masters could have put it in a simpler way, less shocking way, in a more sober way. But they want to shake your mind, your consciousness up. They are saying the real one can never be known. In other words, truth is unknowable. Truth is unknowable. The Upanishads continue to repeat that. Your descriptions, your images will never be able to capture the truth. And if something that can be described is being touted as the truth, just run away. Anything with attributes, anything with properties, anything that can be registered in the memory just cannot correspond to the truth. Wherever you find such a thing happening, just smile and know that it's Maya. If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. Which Buddha? The one that you have met on the road, or the one that exists in your mind as an image? If there is an image of greatness that you have in mind, kill that image. The more you carry that image, the more greatness will remain elusive. Getting it?
Acharya Ji, the first question from the session is from Drishti. I'll ask on her behalf because she seems to have dropped out. Her question was, Namaste Acharya Ji. In most koans, I can see that there is an element of small physical pain. As you said, koans are about giving shock. So does bodily pain have a role in the disillusionment of a student, or is it just a matter of illustration?
You see, the ego is related to physical comfort, no? So if you want to unsettle the ego, it is sometimes helpful to unsettle the body. We talked of Rinzai today. I think it was Rinzai himself who delivered the utmost shock to the body. So there was this student he had, and whenever Rinzai would ask a deep, important question that he wanted the students to reflect over, now instead of giving the question sufficient time and respect and reflection, this one student would just raise his finger as if he already knows the answer. In a very impudent kind of way. So the teacher would ask the question, and this fellow would not take time to absorb the question, understand it, but would behave as if he already knows. And probably this student was not really an idiot. He was a sharp one, because he belonged to the master's group of disciples. Had he really been a duffer, he wouldn't have been found in front of the master. So probably a sharp student, and probably there was some merit in his assertion that he already knows the answer. But he didn't obviously quite fully know the answer. Yet he was insisting that I am the know-all one. So the master, seeing this happen repeatedly, goes to this disciple and simply cuts off his finger. And the Koan says that it was at this moment that the disciple got immediately enlightened. You understand this? Maybe the finger was not totally cut off. Maybe he just took the finger and bended it backwards a little painfully, or delivered a little cut to it, something. But the master did do something painful to the finger. Because the fundamental association of the ego is with the body, right? I am the body. So you shake up the body, the ego shakes up. That does not really support or validate physical mistreatment. But what that tells is that in the rarest of cases, it is possible for a wise and skillful master to deliver a subtle message through physical pain also. But those are rare conditions, and they require a very willing and ripe disciple and a skillful teacher. In today's context, if you go and if you chop off a kid's finger, you would be in jail. Right? So it is in very unique, very rare, very distinct environments and in very deep student-teacher relationships that it is possible for the teacher to inflict physical pain on the student and help the student through that pain. It is possible, but in very rare circumstances.
Namaste, Acharya Ji.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I wanted to ask about what you exactly mean when you say the ripe ones, that the Zen Koans work only on the ripe ones. Only few instructions are used. So it is said that it works on only the ripe, and you described ripe as a fruit that is weakly hung to a tree and can fall at any moment, but it is still attached to the tree. What is the difference between this, a person who is attached in this way, and a person who is not ripe, let's say?
The falling is an event. It is a particular moment when the fruit falls. The ripening is a process. The falling is an event. The Koans refer to that event like sudden shattering of glass. It's an event. It's a loud event. Right? It's a conspicuous event. It catches your attention. It's an event. But the ripening of the fruit is a silent, unattractive process. It takes effort. It requires being in the process, staying on the path. That's what results in ripening. So is enlightenment a process? Not exactly. Is it an event? Not exactly. It's neither a process nor an event. Is it a combination of both? Even that cannot really be said. But what is definite is that you cannot escape the process. For example, you cannot escape writing reflections or writing exams or attending sessions or engaging with the kind of stuff I send your way. You cannot escape all that and still hope to be ripe. All that is a process. You engage with that over a period of time, and then slowly you find that you are ripening. That the sour, tangy fruit is turning sweet.
What role does the choice play here? Personal choice.
All the role, all the credit is due to choice. Because you cannot stay in that process absurdly. Prakriti is absurd, Prakriti is random. You probably can come to me due to a random happening. It is possible. But you cannot stay here randomly. It will require a lot of conscious choice. You will have to choose every time, every day, every session, every exam. You will have to choose. Yeah? Prakriti does not require any choices. Liberation from Prakriti requires choices. You can continue to be in the Prakritic flow without applying choice of any kind, right? Yes.
Thank you.
Prakriti has to be seen for what it is and left at its place. The universe is absurd, and I don't want to find meaning in that absurdity. This is called detachment. This is also liberation. All liberation, in some sense, is liberation from the attempt to project meaning on absurdity. Liberation is to refrain from projecting doership on randomness. That is liberation. Getting it? Vedant proceeds through explanation and brings you to a point where Koan delivers it through experience, from explanation to experience.